What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be reviewing Storm's newest asymmetrical pearl, the Dark Code. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you like this jersey or any of the jerseys in any of my videos, you can head on over to coolwick.com and use my promo code MOTIVLOO10, and that'll get you 10% off your entire order. So with that out of the way, let's talk about some of the tech of this Dark Code. The Dark Code features the REX, the Rex pearl cover, which is a hybrid of two of their pearl formulas to make this one. So it is a hybrid, but kind of a pearl, but kind of a hybrid, if that makes any sense. So they took their NEX pearl and their R2S pearl and combined it to make this REX. So according to the website, it's saying that it's going to be a little bit earlier than some of their pearls. So I assume it'll be earlier than the R2S or the RSTX2 from Rotogrip, but it is going to still produce shape because it features that R2S in the cover. And then the core, it's still the Rad 4 core that's been featured in all the Code series, the Code Black, the Code Red, the Code X, and then now the Dark Code. And in 15 pounds, it has an RG of 2.50 and a differential of 0.58 and an intermediate differential of 0.20. And then with the layout, as always with all my asymmetrical balls lately, I've been drilling them 45 by 4.5 by 45, just for consistency so that we can see how different they are ball to ball. Now, let me know down below in the comments if you guys have a Dark Code or if you're planning on ordering a Dark Code, and what do you compare it to in your arsenal. And if you like this ball and you're thinking about ordering one, I have a link in my description where you can order one so that Bowler Mart knows who sent you. It really helps out the channel if you go through one of my links. All right, so a couple things before we get on the lanes that I forgot to talk about. One, there's a link down below in the description to my Patreon, where I invite each and every one of you to come out and at least check it out. We're turning that into a pretty good little bowling community. Number two, the scent on this ball is Cherry Delight, and it's probably the best smelling bowling ball that I've ever smelled. It's very strong, but not too strong. And then three, once we get on the lanes, I'm gonna start as straight as possible, and then throughout the video, we'll work our way further inside and create more and more shape. So I'll see you guys on the lanes. Oh, that's a bad shot. That's a good shot. That's a good shot. I was lucky. So that definitely wasn't my best set of shots, but the one thing that I did notice is that this ball doesn't really like the straighter angles as much. It is a really strong core, and it seems to be a fairly strong cover. So I think as it's going to be one of those balls kind of like the RSTX2 almost, where the further left I got, the better it's going to look. But it is a pearl and it is really shiny, comes 1500 polish out the box, so getting left quick on a fresh typical house shot could end up being a death sentence. So I'm going to probably move like 5 and 2 left for this next group of shots, and hopefully that'll look a little bit better. Yeah, way better, way better. Miss left. Yep. That's a good shot. That's a good shot. Oh, that's terrible. So this Dark Code is weird. Like, it's definitely long, but not quite as long as some of the other pearls that I've thrown or reviewed recently. But it's not early, like at all. Like, it's still longer, way more angular than basically all the solids, but way earlier, but earlier and just as angular as some of these other pearls. So I'm not really 100% sure what part of the lane right now this ball seems to be best at. It seems to really like, for me, like a little bit slower ball speed from a little bit further in on the fresh. This one though, unlike the RSTX2 or the Zen or any of the pearls that I've been throwing recently, I think this one will be a viable option on the fresh. Whereas some of those other pearls tend to be a little bit too angular, they react too violently off the friction. This one seems to come off it a little bit smoother. Now, it's not a smooth ball by any means. So if you're looking for a big asymmetric solid shape where the ball's gonna be early and smooth, this ain't it. But if you're looking for a little bit smoother of a pearl that's every bit as strong, then maybe you're gonna wanna look at this dark coat. I'm actually gonna chase it a little bit further left now. I think it does. So I think I got this ball figured out now. I think this next group of shots, if I can execute, will be some of the better shots of the video. I'm thinking that the larger angles aren't gonna be very good with this ball. I think the core and cover is a little too strong for the larger angles. I think this is gonna be one of those balls where it'll be a little bit better with a little bit of surface. Like if I just knock the shine off, I think this will be really, really good. So this next group of shots, I'm gonna move like 2 left with my feet, but like maybe 4 or 5 left with my eyes. Just keep the ball a little bit more in front of me from a little bit further left. Okay, so that last shot in the group, I think was the most telling. I was a little bit further left and I got the ball going a little bit right and it had no chance. I think I 2-8-10 or something like that, some weird combination like that. But those first couple shots in the group looked really, really good from in the oil. Now, it's not the same kind of reaction, but it reminds me a lot of like, imagine a 900 Global Reality Pearl. Kind of like that, where it's a little bit better in the oil. You definitely want to keep it a little bit more in front of you. Now, that's for me in my game. Obviously, everyone's game is a little bit different. So it's one of those balls, I think, where I think the higher rev rates might be able to take advantage of the angularity of the ball. But for someone like me, especially with those last group of shots, I'm thinking keep it in the oil a little bit longer. I'm actually going to move now another like 5-ish left with my feet. All right, so basically it took me all video, but I finally found a really, really good spot on the lanes. And again, that 2-8-10 that I left was one that I leaked a little bit further right. It seems to be the tale or the story about this ball, that big angles just aren't it for me with this ball. And it kind of forces me into a part of the lane that I'm mostly uncomfortable with, but when I did execute a shot, the ball looked really, really good. Overall, I really like what I see, but I think I'm gonna have to knock the shine off of this. After we're done shooting this video, I am gonna knock the shine off and throw it again at a different session on the fresh so that I can see just how good it is. Maybe I'll even do a surface review video of this ball. So that last shot that you guys just saw was probably like 10 or 11 right with my feet, maybe like 4 or 5 right with my eyes, just because I really wanted to see one last shot before we get into the versatility test at how straight I could play with this ball. And I really, really like it when I can play a little bit straighter. Those, mostly that last group of shots were almost like that further left. I felt like I had to like really slow hook it, really hit it at the bottom. And it kind of makes me not bowl my A game. Ideally, on a house shot, you want to be bowling your A game. And for me, that's a little bit straighter. So now we're going to get into the versatility test, where I'm going to throw 3 shots, or 1 shot from each of 3 zones. 1 from really, really straight, about 15 on my feet. 1 from a little bit more angle, which is about 25 from my feet. And then 1 from 35 with my feet. And the goal is to see how versatile a bowling ball is. Let me know down below in the comments if you think that this dart code is going to pass or is going to be versatile. Oh. All right, so here we are, end of the video. Now, the dart code is funny because it didn't look phenomenal from any of the 3 zones, but it didn't look bad from any of the 3 zones either. It's like, so far what I'm seeing, I mean, I'm like 33 shots in with this ball ever. And what I'm seeing is that it's not bad at anything, but it's also not great at anything. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's one of those balls that's going to be like, I'm not really sure what I'm seeing on the lanes. Let me go to this dart code and it'll guide me, because from straighter, it'll tell you maybe to ball down, but maybe from further left, it'll tell you to ball up. Overall, I do like what I see. Like I said, I am going to hit it with some surface. And the next time I bowl on that, that pattern for that regional, which is the Billy Hardwick pattern, 44 feet, you will see me bring the dart code with some surface. And I will try it on the fresh. The reality looked really good on that pattern on the fresh. And I'm thinking this one might be another option or another complement to the reality on the fresh. So I think that's what it is. I think that this ball maybe for me just needs a little bit longer of a pattern, or maybe both, longer pattern and more volume. So thank you guys for joining me on this video. Click right here to watch one of my other videos. Click right here to subscribe. Till next time.